Welcome, everybody. Today, we are going to be discovering if it's possible to fireball jump and TNT jump at the same time. I like to call this the jump. So, we all know what a fireball jump is. We also know you can TNT jump, double TNT jump, or even triple TNT jump. So, today, I tried to find a way to combine the fireball jump and the TNT jump. As you can see, double or even triple TNT jumping are both very difficult acts, and they require lots of gold. But if there was a way to combine fireball and TNT jumping, that means you could spend both gold and iron, splitting the cost apart, meaning you wouldn't have to spend 12 gold to go that far, or even 8 gold for a double TNT jump. With a fireball and TNT jump at the same time, you could go further, maybe even higher, meaning you could reach places that required 8 gold, which you may not have. I started off in my game, I started off by trying to fireball a TNT to see if that would make the TNT move or go anywhere. As you can see, it doesn't really do much. I failed on my first attempt, meaning it was worthless. But on my second attempt, I was able to produce some peculiar results. Firstly, it does move the TNT, just not very far. And secondly, it appears that you can jump higher. Now let's take a look at that in slow-mo, so we can see everything and see what happens. Over here, as you can see, as soon as I place down the TNT, I fireball, it moves the TNT, roughly 2 blocks. But these 2 blocks, they're not enough. It's not going to help you in any way. 2 blocks won't really do much. So I attempted it again, this time going for height. I placed the TNT down, fireball. I missed my first fireball, I failed. But the second one, as soon as I flew up, when I was in the air, I took another bit of damage and flew even higher. Which means it can be hit. It can happen, and it can be used for height. I continue testing, this time, starting in a different game, on Cascade. Cascade has a top portion of the map, so I decided to use this to my advantage. To use it to fireball, TNT jump, and record all the distances that I needed to. But I went to the very back of the island, placed down my TNT, and TNT jumped to the best of my ability. When I landed pretty decent, roughly 18 blocks, as you can see by my counting here. I may be off from the counting, but you guys can verify that in the comments. So here, after fireball jumping, I went back and I decided I'm measuring them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 blocks for a TNT jump, 16 for the fireball jump. And those were actually pretty good fireball and TNT jumps for me. Maybe not for you guys. You guys might be better than I am. But I decided to avoid to regain my health, and I saw a white was coming close to me. So, I had to kill them. So, I grabbed all my stuff, bought myself some blocks, and I went to go kill White. White wasn't super good at the game, so it wasn't too difficult to kill them. As you can see here, they're just not the best. Yeah, so ran over, broke White's bed, killed them one last time, and then I was able to attempt my Fireball TNT jump finally. Using the resources from white, I banked it, then I voided to regain health again. And with my newfound health from voiding, I decided it was finally time to Fireball TNT jump. This time, I was measuring distance, so I was going for distance. And since I found out earlier that you cannot Fireball a TNT to send that further, and then fly along with the TNT and blow up there, I tried to TNT, and then right before I landed, Fireball to go double the distance. I failed on my first attempt, accidentally right-clicking, so went back using my resources from white base, grabbed him, and I decided to try again. This time, things went a bit better. I didn't accidentally right-click, but I fell into the void. And I had messed up because I hit the ground right before I fireball, taking a slight tick of damage, probably messing with the results. I went up, decided to build a big platform for me to land on. Taking time to build this platform. As you can see, most of the teams were gone by now, so it was me, yellow, and gray. So after white had attacked me, I had been free for the entire game, so I was free to continue building my platform, and I was given time to continue with my research. Platform building process is quite slow, but we'll take a look at it in a much faster pace in a little bit to measure stuff and to notice how good or how bad I did. So after building out this large little platform, I began doing my first Fireball TNT jump. Second actually. Took my time, waited until I was ready, and began. It wasn't a super good attempt. I messed up my Fireball jump and my TNT jump, so it wasn't too well, but at least I didn't fall into the void this time, which was improvement. So I began on my third attempt of the Fireball TNT jump, going for distance. Distance Fireball TNT jumping. This time I did much better. I was less scared, obviously, and I failed my Fireball jump only this time. The TNT jump was pretty good. I got a lot of height that time, and I went on to my fourth and final Fireball TNT jump of this game. As I attempted it, as you can see, gray fell into the void after taking out yellow, so just me versus gray. I did not have much time to complete it, so I had to hurry up and go fast. And this attempt went pretty well. I got pretty far, 4 blocks from the end of my bridge, and I began counting again. This time I reached 17 away from my TNT jump, which brings the total to 35. In the moment, I was recounting the distance just to make sure I had it right. But now, with my total of 35, I knew Fireball TNT jumping could be a viable option. But I didn't know where. We now go into, I decided to go into the replay mode, and I skipped forward a bunch, and went and looked over what happened. Here's the TNT jump, the Fireball jump that we just did. Then I counted it out again. Of course, this is the same thing's happening before, just 4 times the speed. Me voiding, killing white is gonna happen like now. Yeah. White dies. Avoid again. And then I begin Fireball TNT jumping. Test that distance. First one, fail. Second one, also fail. Built out my bridge. Wait, I might have miscounted. Actually, it might have been 5 attempts total. Oh well. I'll recheck that. But yeah, I continued building out my bridge, drop down, and then Fireball TNT jumping again and again. But if you watch closely, in the one attempt that I did do that was decently successful, there was something I actually did mess up, which I didn't realize in the time. But looking over it now, in this and in slow motion, a split second before I fireball, I took damage, meaning I failed. I hit the ground first. After doing this, I was quickly killed by Gray, considering I had no gear. They had tons of emeralds, diamond armor. So I moved on to another game. This game, I attempted to use it as an option on a bridge. First, I waited for my opponent. TNT jumped at them, and then, right before I landed, I tried to fireball, but I failed that, causing me to die, and for the test to go unsuccessful. Now, we're moving on to another game, where I again attempted Fireball TNT jump. And this time, it was more successful. I built up a little with my TNT. And I began, and I TNT jumped. I TNT jumped, fireballed, and over here, I was scared he was coming after me, so I was blocking off it. But if you see in the chat, he fell into the void, which means I think it was successful. But now, let's look over that in slow-mo. After I build over to him, I wait, I fight, we both die. I skip forward a bunch. I build up here. I TNT jump, fireball over him, and he falls off. But if you do that in slow-mo, let's look over it now. Here's me placing TNT, TNT jumping. And then, that's that dude. He stops, backs up. And here's me. I get sent flying, and when I fireball, it's nowhere near the dude. The dude just walks off on his own. So, it was a failed attempt again. After looking over this, I realized there wasn't too much hope. So, I went back to the beginning, where I was able to fireball, TNT jump to get higher. I was now back on this map that I was on earlier. I fireball TNT jumped and it launched me to the roof, as you guys saw. But now I was waiting. I went to go get a fireball and a TNT to attempt both. See if it was just, they're pointless to fireball TNT jump, or if it could actually be useful. As I fireball jumped, I didn't get close to the height. I TNT jumped as well. I don't know if I'm the best TNT jumping for height, but I did, and I failed to reach the top, which proves Fireball TNT jumping does have a use. The use is height. You can go further distances, but that would have to be across a bridge, and you might as well just run across it at that point. So the best use for it is for height. So, if you time it right, you can fireball up, and then at the peak of your height, you get hit by the TNT and go even higher. Doing so, you can escape from enemies, use it to fly up to the top of maybe an island topper and hide there. The possibilities are endless. Fireball TNT jumping isn't necessarily the best option, but it does have uses. You can go higher and maybe even further in some cases. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.